Let us understand what is meant by Avalokana today. Avalokana means halting psychologically at one place and examining one's own mind intermittently. So, when you scan your mind, like we scan our computer and remove the unnecessary things and throw them to recycle bin, trash can, similarly, the mind need to be scanned frequently because more than a computer which gets contaminated through mal softwares, the mind gets even more contaminated with wrong programming, wrong patternizations, and wrong habits. The mind is always on the hunt of getting patternized so as to make it more comfortable. It doesn't want to, the mind doesn't want to be on the edge of insecurity. The mind doesn't want to be on the edge of uncertainty. So the mind wants to make itself more secure and more comfortable. Habits and programs make it more comfortable because within the program, within the given habits, the mind operates with great ease. So at every given time, it develops or increases the tendency to get it more programmed for a comfort zone. But when you go within, the very programming becomes an obstacle to go up. The very patternization becomes a major stumbling block for you to blossom. So what you need to do is Avalokana, which means ruminate over the past. Sit quiet, scan the mind, examine it, and remove all the junk. There is an animal in the nature which is an expert in Avalokana, that is lion. In Sanskrit, it is called as Simhavalokana. Simhavalokana means you do Avalokana the way a lion does. Lion, after coming out of its den in search of food, comes to the jungle and he doesn't know where the food is available. But he moves forward with the hope that he will find some food, some animal, some prey. When he moves in certain direction by his instincts and intuition, he halts at one place, checks how far he is from his den and how much hungry her children are, and in which time duration, he should return back so as to feed his children. All these calculations come into his mind. So he stops, calculates, and checks whether it is right direction or not, and how long he should wait there. So all these things he frequently does. No animal goes for a hunt the way a lion does. That's the reason why it is specially called as Simhavalokana. That means you ruminate over the past the way a lion does. So a warrior also goes within, stops himself intermittently, scans and examines himself, remove all the spam programmings, removes all the comfort zones, and be like a fluid, moving as per the need of the occasion. Thank you very much. In many traditions across the world, during the tutelage of becoming a wise man or a warrior or an awakened man, different words, different spiritual lineages, or a Swami. Swami means one who has controlled himself. Swa means Swa Adhisthana. So one who has Adhisthana over oneself is called a Swami. In the Himalayas, for a period of almost 11 months, not in all categories, not in all traditions, in certain traditions of Himalayas, spiritual traditions of Himalayas, the would-be Swami will be put in a cave, underground cave, for a period of 11 months. For all the excreta to go away, they have special arrangements, and once in a day, the food is thrown into the cell, and it is a completely dark chamber. After 11 months, this person comes out with complete catharsis, with a complete elimination of all his thoughts. He has to recall every incident of his life and eliminate everything. All the emotional scars, all the emotional traumas, the memories, good and bad, everything has removed so that nothing stays in him. Nothing tethers him. Nothing gets anchored in his psychological and emotional domains. Similarly, in Mexican tradition, the pupil who is about to become a warrior is put on a big tree above the ground where all the arrangements are made for food, excretory system, everything, and is supposed to stay for 6 months at a stretch on the tree. Their idea is they should be away from the contact of the earth so as to do this rumination act. They have to recall every incident, recall every person they have met, recall every mark, psychological and emotional mark each person has left in his psyche and need to erase it. If the student doesn't complete within a period of 6 months, no grace period of another 15 days or 20 days will be given, but will be extended for another 6 months. Same in the Tibetan tradition, there are some rooms called as hermit room. In that hermit room, months together, pupil is going to stay there so as to clear himself of all the emotional junk and become a pure consciousness. Many traditions across the world has this, but we don't have to go into a cave or sit on the top of the tree or spend time in hermit rooms. We can be where we are. On and off, we can recall all our experiences. On and off, we can recall the people whom we have met and how they have influenced us and erase all the programmings that have been formed because of that. That is called as Avalokana. That is called as a rumination over the past. Let's do it. Thank you very much. On the very idea of Avalokana, a deity's name is there. In fact, the word Avalokana came from this deity. Avalokiteshvara. Avalokiteshvara is one of the Buddhas. 5 top Buddhas Buddhists pray and respect throughout the world. The other Buddhas are, as far as remember, Amitabha, someone else. Avalokiteshvara is always depicted as a picture with 1,000 hands. I was telling in Ujjain a few years back that if you go to Freeganj, the most busy market of Ujjain, and loudly shout, "Idiot," you will see many heads turning towards you. Why? There is very strong sense of unworthiness in many people's inner self. They're strongly associated with one's own self unworthiness. This unworthiness has become so deeper, so programmed that when somebody calls us, somebody shouts idiot, we think that we are that. This tendency of unworthiness is a strong reason to become victims for praise, to get depressed for the loss. We never become a wise man when somebody calls you wise. We never become wise man when the whole world calls you wise. We never become idiot when someone calls you an idiot. When the whole world calls you an idiot, you will never become an idiot. Wisdom is nothing but increasing association with the unknown, identifying oneself with the unknown. When you identify yourself with unknown, you will see the vastness of the universe. You will see the magnificence of the universe. And the universe is you, your center. The awesomeness of entire universe is at your center. When you feel awesome, you become immune to the outer world. All the vibes cannot affect you, cannot create a dent in you. And whatever emotional traumas, the wounds and scars in the emotional body will fade away, making you pure and pure and pure. No dents in your emotional body. To bounce with evergreen celebration coming from within. Never dependent on anything external. Enjoy.